This is Eagle Owl, and today we're going to talk about Kayvon Thibodeaux. Should we trade for him? Should we send Dallas Goddard to the Giants for Kayvon Thibodeaux? Also, we got to talk about this Jackson Slater guy. He's a guy that's getting a lot of traction in Philadelphia. And lastly, DeVonta Smith is great. We're going to go over some of his accomplishments, but let's get straight into it. Right, man, before we hop straight into it, speaking of greatness, is Jeff Stoutland the greatest? I mean, the greatest position coach of all time. Some of his accolades is just out of this world. So, according to ML Football, Jeff Stoutland had Pro Bowlers for 11 straight years, 25 plus Pro Bowlers, and 13 players with All Pro honors. So, look, Jeff Stoutland is great. Jeff Stoutland is the best at doing this, and I think he deserved more praise. And I remember it was a time where it was a rough patch in Philadelphia. We didn't know what was going on. We just fired our Super Bowl head coach, and it was rumored that Jeff Stoutland wanted to go to Alabama, and Howard Roseman said no. And a lot of people was mad at Howard Roseman at the time. I said I understood. You don't let a guy like that walk at all at all. And yeah, I think he's the greatest position coach of all time. I know Vic Fangio is making a name for himself right now, but look, Jeff Stoutland is the best of the best, top tier position coach of all time. I'm sorry, he just is. But speaking of old lineman, let's talk about Jackson Slater. Small school he went to, I believe it's called Sacramento State, the name of the school. And he showed up and showed out at that school. But with smaller schools, we always gonna have this question: can it translate to the NFL level? Well, I will say this: Jalen Hunt proved that it can. So it's a lot of guys prove that, you don't always have to go to Alabama or something like that for it to translate into the big leagues. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think Dallas Goddard went to a smaller school. And what makes me mention this is because this Jackson Slater dude, he's a guy that showed out in his Senior Bowl. He had a phenomenal RAS score, and the Eagles had multiple visits with him, not top 30. It was just multiple virtual visits, and that's a good sign that the Philadelphia Eagles want him. See, he could be one of those dudes that's drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles day 2, day 3, but then technically did not have a top 30 visit, but he had multiple meetings with the Eagles. Because again, the Eagles, it's not like these other teams. Oh, this virtual sitting on this, that, and the third. If we have a top 30 visit with you, more than likely the Eagles are, interested in you. Just look at our history. We draft guys that we visit. So this is a really good sign. Again, left guard. We don't need any more left guards. If you look at right guard, maybe, but maybe they looking at him like maybe he could transition to right guard or just be that depth piece until he develops at the NFL level. So look, if Jeff Stoutland see something in them, if the coaches see something in them, they like him, I love him. If they like him, I love him. And, multiple meetings, again, that is a very good sign. All right, so let's talk about DeVonta Smith. I just want to give some of our receivers some praise because I know they've been in trade talks, fake trade talks, mock trades, this, that, and the third. At this point, I just think these other teams and the higher ups want us to break up our team. They want to take the tush push. They want to trade AJ Brown. They want to trade DeVonta Smith. But DeVonta Smith is 101, man. We talk about Jalen Hurts. It's that winner. But DeVonta Smith, man, he find his ways in winning situations a lot. So according to the Philadelphia Eagles, Smitty is special. He is one of only 5 players to win a Heisman Trophy, a CFB National Championship, and a Super Bowl. Yes, DeVonta Smith is very, very special. Again, man, it's just because it's AJ Brown here, and I think AJ Brown is just a top 3 receiver, and DeVonta Smith is top 10. So sometimes it can be overshadowed. But DeVonta Smith, man, he find his way in winning situations a lot, from college to the big league. So DeVonta Smith, keep doing you. The fans love you, and keep reaching those levels, man. keep reaching those levels, I think you're going to have one of those special years coming into this year. I really, really do. And I thought he was going to have it last year, but he had a couple injuries here and there because I think he would have went another season with 1,000 plus yards. I honestly believe AJ Brown would have went for about 15, 16 again, but they were hurt. But in the big game, they were there. So I got to give them praise for that. Yeah, there was knick-knack here and there. That's what happens when you go to the playoffs. What, 3 straight years? 3 straight years. You're going to get hurt. But when it came to the Super Bowl, they were ready. Literally for A.J. Brown. When it came to the NFC Championship game in the Super Bowl, he was ready. So he was hurt basically all year, if you think about A.J. Brown. DeVonta Smith with the concussions and, the hamstring. Because he even said he pulled his hamstring, I think, in the Super Bowl or before the Super Bowl, but he still found a way to play, did not sit out, did not cry and complain. He had one of the biggest catches in the game to ice the game. So, again, shout out to DeVonta Smith. Continue to be special. Right, so let's get into the last topic. Kayvon Thibodeaux for Dallas Goddard. Would you do it? I would say this. I love this trade proposal by Anthony DeBona, Dallas Goddard for a 2025 third round pick and a 2026 fifth round. And we receive Kayvon Thibodeaux, a fourth. I like it. But honestly, the human side of me is like, yo, don't trade him to the Giants. Not because he might show out in New York and not because I don't like Kayvon Thibodeaux. I just think, this is a business, but I think Howie Roseman has a heart when it comes to longtime Eagles and I guess fans, the who the fans love and the players or whatever, if I'm saying that right, Howie will trade you, but he'll put you in the right situation. Like when we had Zach Ertz, when he was traded to Arizona, Kyler Murray was considered like a top five. They had a couple pieces there. That's when they had D Hop, who was playing at a high level, and he gave him a chance to legit win. He sent them to a team that can legit compete. Even when you think of, me mention him again, C.J. Gardner Johnson. Howie Roseman called C.J. Gardner Johnson, told him he's going to be traded. And the one request that C.J. Gardner Johnson has, like, trade me to a team where as though I can compete. Okay, cool. You go to Houston. And if you think about it, Houston can compete. They almost knocked off the Chiefs. They could definitely compete. Maybe he is the missing piece. See, the thing what happened with the Hassan Reddick thing, he wanted out so bad, and the Jets promised they were going to pay. And how we told Hassan Reddick, like, look, this team willing to pay, this, that, and the third. Okay, they trade him there, and the money never came. So Howie didn't burn Hassan Reddick. He just sent him to a team that really wanted him, and it was a fair compensation for us. But what happened between Hassan Reddick and the Jets? That was between Hassan Reddick and the Jets. It had nothing to do with the Eagles. The Eagles gave their proposal like, look, we'll keep you, but we not, signing you to that deal you want. But maybe the Jets will do it because they offered us something, and and it never happened. And now, it's crazy how the tides turn because Josh Sweat took that risk. Now he gets paid by Arizona, and Hassan Reddick is with the Buccaneers on a 1 year deal. I think like 14 up to 14 million. So all of that's not even guaranteed, which is crazy. I do feel bad for him because I think Hassan Reddick, the things he did for Philadelphia deserved the ring, but it just didn't happen. But again, back to Dallas Goddard. Now, Dallas Goddard, again, I just don't think Howie do it. And that's why I mentioned those examples. I think Howie would trade him to a team that has a chance to compete, like maybe Miami, maybe, you send him to his old coach and Shane Steichen in Indianapolis. I'm not sure what's going on there. Are they a team that's competing? Do they look at Dallas Goddard as the missing piece? I don't know. But I do know that, well, the AFC South is a weak division, so anybody could take it at any time. I just think how we would do Dallas Goddard right. I think he trade him to the AFC so we don't have to worry about him, into a competing team. That's what I think will happen with Dallas Goddard. But again, I would like Kayvon Thibodeaux. He's one of those dudes. I think he's just a victim of the New York thing. And I, if I was the New York Giants, I'd try to keep, because more than likely they're gonna draft I do Carter. So I'll try to keep both and make your edges really, really strong. Definitely after losing Aziz Ojolari. So I don't know what the Giants gonna do. But that'd be a great trade for us. I think it'd be a decent trade for them, but they don't need an injury prone guy on that turf. Not at all. But you know, never know. We'll wait and watch how this thing play out with Dallas Goddard. But that's all I got for you guys today. And hey man, what do you think? How do you feel? Trade Dallas Goddard to the Giants? Maybe. Also Jackson Slater, telling you, do some homework on him. He's really, really good. But the biggest question is, can it translate to the NFL level? And DeVonta Smith, just special, man. But this is Eagle Owl. I'm out.